Christianity. Christianity has diverse perspectives on ghosts, but most denominations believe that after death, souls go to heaven, hell, or purgatory. In Catholicism, the idea of ghosts as wandering spirits of the dead is not a central doctrine in Christian theology. Some biblical passages, such as the appearance of Samuel's spirit in 1 Samuel chapter 28, suggest that spirits can manifest, but many Christians interpret these events as exceptional or symbolic. In Catholicism, spirits perceived as ghosts are often explained as souls in purgatory seeking prayers or demonic entities masquerading as the dead. Protestant traditions generally reject the idea of spirits lingering on earth, instead emphasizing the finality of judgment after death. Some believe that supernatural encounters attributed to ghosts are actually interactions with demons. Christianity strongly warns against necromancy, spiritism, and attempting to contact the dead, as seen in Leviticus chapter 19 verse 31. However, some Christian traditions, particularly in folk practices, retain beliefs in ancestral spirits or restless souls. While mainstream theology denies ghosts as commonly depicted in folklore, many believers have personal stories of ghostly encounters. Overall, Christianity prioritizes faith in God's power over speculation about spirits. Islam. In Islam, the soul enters barzakh, an intermediate state between life and the afterlife, immediately after death. The Quran teaches that spirits of the dead do not return to communicate with the living, nor do they linger on earth. However, Islam acknowledges the existence of jinn, supernatural beings created from smokeless fire, distinct from angels and humans. Some jinn can be good, but others deceive humans and cause harm, often leading to ghostly experiences. Muslims believe that jinn can take various forms and influence human perception, sometimes impersonating the dead. Islamic teachings strongly prohibit attempting to contact spirits, engaging in magic, or practicing divination. The Quran warns against following misleading supernatural beings who lead people away from Allah. Despite this, folk Islam in some cultures includes practices related to spirit interactions, such as exorcisms and protective prayers. Islamic scholars emphasize that fear of ghosts should not override trust in Allah's will and power. Ultimately, the focus is on preparing for the afterlife rather than worrying about spirits. Judaism presents a complex view of spirits, incorporating mystical traditions alongside mainstream theology. Traditional Jewish beliefs hold that after death, the soul transitions to the afterlife or awaits resurrection. Some interpretations suggest that part of the soul remains near the body, part ascends to God, and part may linger on earth. Jewish mysticism, particularly Kabbalah, introduces concepts such as the Dybbuk, a restless, malevolent spirit that possesses the living. Another spirit type, the Ibr, is a benevolent soul that temporarily joins a person to offer guidance. Jewish texts explicitly forbid consulting spirits or necromancers, as seen in Leviticus chapter 19 verse 31. However, ghost stories and spirit folklore exist in Jewish history, particularly in Eastern European traditions. Some rabbis believe that spirits trapped between worlds result from unresolved sins or incomplete rituals. Protective prayers and rituals, such as reciting psalms or using amulets, are sometimes used in Jewish communities to ward off spirits. While Judaism acknowledges spirits in folklore, mainstream Jewish theology emphasizes divine justice and the soul's journey to the afterlife. The focus remains on righteous living rather than ghostly concerns. Hinduism holds a strong belief in ghosts, known as preta, which are spirits of the dead who failed to transition properly into the next life. These spirits often result from unnatural deaths, unresolved karma, or improper funeral rites. Hindu tradition emphasizes the importance of performing shraddha, rituals for the dead, to ensure the deceased moves on peacefully. If these rites are neglected, a spirit may become restless and disturb the living. Some Hindu texts describe ghosts as suffering beings, unable to interact directly with the physical world, but still influencing it. Many Hindus believe that certain priests or ascetics can communicate with or exorcise spirits through mantras and rituals. Ghosts in Hinduism are not necessarily evil, but are often seen as unfortunate beings needing liberation. Temples, cremation grounds, and sacred rivers are considered places where spirits gather, making them significant in rituals for the dead. Some Hindu sects see ghostly encounters as tests or illusions that challenge one's spiritual strength. Ultimately, Hinduism teaches that the soul's goal is moksha, liberation, freeing it from cycles of rebirth and ghostly existence. Buddhism acknowledges the existence of ghosts, often referred to as hungry ghosts, pretas, who exist in a separate realm due to past karma. These spirits are depicted as beings with large stomachs and tiny mouths, symbolizing their insatiable cravings and suffering. The Tibetan Book of the Dead describes the process by which spirits transition after death and warns of the dangers of becoming a ghost. In some Buddhist traditions, rituals such as ulambana are performed to provide offerings and prayers to help suffering ghosts attain a better rebirth. While ghosts are not necessarily evil, they are considered unfortunate beings trapped in a state of spiritual imbalance. Some Buddhists believe that particularly vengeful spirits known as onryo in Japanese Buddhism, can cause misfortune. Monks may conduct ceremonies to appease these spirits and guide them toward peace. Buddhist teachings emphasize overcoming attachments and desires, which are the primary causes of becoming a ghost. Meditation, chanting, and acts of merit can help both the living and the dead in their spiritual journey. Ultimately, Buddhism sees ghosts as temporary states of suffering that can be transcended through wisdom and compassion. Sikhism largely rejects the existence of ghosts, instead focusing on the continuous cycle of birth and rebirth according to karma. Sikhs believe that after death, the soul moves on to its next life based on divine justice. Ghosts, as restless spirits of the dead, are not considered real in Sikh teachings. However, some Sikhs acknowledge supernatural experiences, often attributing them to psychological factors or misunderstandings. The Guru Granth Sahib, the central Sikh scripture, advises against superstition and instead emphasizes devotion to God. Sikhs believe that fear of ghosts can distract people from living a righteous life and seeking spiritual enlightenment. Evil forces or disturbances are sometimes understood as inner struggles rather than external spirits. Sikhism teaches that engaging in prayers, Nam Simran, meditative repetition of God's name, and good deeds ensures protection from negative influences. While some cultural Sikh traditions include exorcism-like practices, mainstream Sikhism discourages belief in ghosts. The focus remains on faith in Waheguru, God, and the journey of the soul toward unity with the divine. Taoism holds a strong belief in spirits, including ghosts known as Gi, which are souls of the dead who have not moved on properly. Taoist cosmology includes multiple spiritual realms, with ghosts often existing in the lower planes due to unresolved karma or improper burial rites. Some Taoist traditions teach that ghosts can interact with the living, causing harm or seeking assistance. Festivals such as the Ghost Festival, Zhongyuanji, are held to honor and appease spirits, ensuring they do not become vengeful. Taoist priests perform rituals, burn paper offerings, and chant scriptures to guide lost spirits. Ghosts in Taoism can be either benevolent ancestors watching over their descendants or malevolent entities causing misfortune. Protective talismans, amulets, and feng shui practices are used to ward off harmful spirits. Taoist philosophy teaches that harmony between the physical and spiritual worlds is essential for balance. While ghosts exist, they are seen as part of the natural order rather than supernatural threats. Ultimately, Taoism emphasizes respect for spirits while focusing on achieving spiritual balance and immortality. Bahá'í Faith. The Bahá'í Faith teaches that the soul is eternal and continues to progress toward God after death. There is no belief in ghosts as restless spirits lingering on earth, nor in the idea that souls can return to communicate with the living. Instead, the Bahá'í perspective emphasizes spiritual growth in both this world and the next. The afterlife is seen as a different realm of existence, where the soul advances based on its deeds and faith. Seeking to contact spirits or engaging in supernatural practices is discouraged, as the focus is on personal spiritual development. Baha'is believe that prayers and good deeds can assist the progress of souls in the next world. While they honor those who have passed, they do not perform rituals for the dead beyond funeral prayers. The faith promotes trust in God's plan for the soul rather than fear of ghosts or hauntings. Shinto, the indigenous religion of Japan, teaches that spirits, known as kami, exist in nature, ancestors, and even historical figures. Some spirits, called yurei, are believed to be the souls of the deceased who remain restless due to an unnatural death or unfinished business. If proper funeral rites are not performed, these spirits may haunt the living or cause misfortune. Shinto places great importance on purification rituals to prevent negative spiritual influences. Offerings and prayers at shrines are meant to honor and appease both benevolent and troubled spirits. Ancestral spirits are also believed to watch over their descendants and are regularly venerated in household shrines. Ghost stories and supernatural folklore are deeply embedded in Japanese culture, reflecting Shinto's influence. Despite this, Shinto primarily focuses on maintaining harmony between humans, nature, and spirits, rather than fearing ghosts. Confucianism emphasizes filial piety and ancestor veneration, believing that honoring the dead maintains harmony within the family and society. While it does not focus on ghosts in the supernatural sense, Confucian thought recognizes that ancestral spirits continue to influence the living. Performing rituals and making offerings at ancestral altars is an important duty to show respect and gratitude. Neglecting these responsibilities is believed to bring dishonor to the family and disrupt the natural order. Confucianism discourages fear-based superstitions but acknowledges that moral behavior ensures a peaceful afterlife. Unlike some religious traditions, it does not emphasize malevolent ghosts, but rather the importance of ethical living and proper burial rites. The spiritual presence of ancestors is viewed as a guiding force rather than a source of fear. Confucian teachings promote a rational approach to spirits, focusing on respect for tradition and moral integrity. Zoroastrianism Zoroastrianism teaches that after death, the soul undergoes judgment at the Chinvat Bridge, where it is either rewarded or punished based on its deeds. The faith does not emphasize ghosts in the same way other traditions do, but it acknowledges the presence of spiritual forces. Druj, or evil entities, are believed to attempt to deceive and corrupt the living. Ritual purity is a central practice in Zoroastrianism, and exposure to death is considered a source of spiritual contamination. To prevent any lingering negative energy, specific funeral rites, such as sky burials, are performed to ensure the soul's proper transition. Fire, which represents purity and divine wisdom, is often used in religious ceremonies to protect against malevolent forces. Zoroastrians believe that good thoughts, words, and deeds ensure a smooth journey into the afterlife. While spirits are acknowledged, the focus remains on moral righteousness rather than fear of ghosts. Jainism. Jainism believes in the existence of spirits or souls that have not yet attained liberation, but it does not recognize ghosts in the way many other religions do. According to Jain teachings, souls that fail to achieve moksha, liberation, are reborn in various realms, including heavenly, earthly, or hellish existences. Some souls, due to their past karma, may become invisible beings known as bhutas or pretas, which can be loosely compared to ghosts. However, Jainism emphasizes that these spirits are not supernatural entities, but merely souls trapped in suffering due to their karmic burden. Jains believe that all beings, whether human, animal, or spirit, are bound by karma and must follow the path of nonviolence, ahimsa, and self-discipline to break free from the cycle of rebirth. There is no practice of exorcism or ghost worship in Jainism, as it teaches that spiritual progress comes through purification of the soul, not external rituals. Fear of ghosts is discouraged since Jain philosophy asserts that one's own karma determines their fate, not external entities. Ultimately, Jainism focuses on self-realization and liberation rather than interaction with spirits or ghosts. If you liked this video, you won't want to miss the next one. We're exploring the top 10 most famous celebrities who converted to a different religion. Who do you think made the list? Stay tuned to find out. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Let us know in the comments who you think will be featured.